Well, welcome. It's time to look at the dailies, the front page, find out exactly what's going on with the headlines. We've got a bunch of them here today. And of course, we also have Mary here with us.
Hi.
You are welcome once again. Now, let's start with the Punch newspaper this morning. If you're just joining us, this will be the dailies. I'm going to start with the big headline here for the Punch newspaper. CBN investigator probes banks over 1.27 trillion naira intervention funds, 1.27 trillion naira anchor borrowers loans, others undisbursed in 5 banks. Special investigator to summon bank CEOs over intervention funds. At the top for the Punch, government Labour begin talks over 35,000 naira wage award, and 1,000 killed as Israeli-Hamas conflict rages. US deploys munitions. Now, we've seen this all weekend long. I don't know if you have any interesting take on the Israeli-Palestinian issue.
So the Israeli-Palestinian issue has been ongoing for a very long time. There are several people who are on the sides of the Palestinians, and there are some people that are like, no, it's Israel. The attack should not have been done. So for many people, there were actually attacks on certain celebrities who posted support either on their stories or made tweets and stuff about, supporting Israel. So it's an ongoing issue. And so
there seems to be plenty of support for Israel, it would seem. It's also very unfortunate, the images that are coming out of
very unfortunate,
especially where you have women and children involved, kidnaps and all of that. It's very sad. However, even considering the support for Israel, if you really go down to the roots of the issue here, it's a very strange one because it is based on patch of land that simply just states that, oh, this book says that this is my land.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
Yeah, so, I'm here to claim it.
It's very sad because if the book is to be even explored, all of them should be together under one country, really. And so one cannot say, oh, you're taking the side of Israel, because if you know your history, you know that Israel too has done a lot of damage to Palestinians. And on the other hand, if you also look at the most recent attack, you could say, oh, you shouldn't have done this.
So unmodern, so uncivilized.
Yeah.
Let's put it so. Moving on now, final headline I'll be taking from the Punch. Sanwo-Olu orders demolition of markets built on drainage. We had a report on that in the news today. This was also something that was visited on the Lekki-Aja area, where people have chosen to build their properties on drainage pathways. They're saying that these are going to come down, whether or not they'll be given 7 days ultimatum to clear their properties before they come down. I think when you look at the greater good regarding the situation of Lagos and floodings, it would be a good effort, but I hope that these people get compensation, especially if they have all documents, if they have documentation regarding their properties before and after it was bought. So
the unfortunate thing is, it is very unlikely for you to have documents backing you to build your property on a drainage. There's always that, there's always that clause. There's a particular length that you must leave between the drainage and the start of your house, which is why when there are, expansions of road, you see that fences are being broken down, and there's nothing they can do about it, because if the government brings you the plan, it shows that you should not have extended your property to that length. So it's very unlikely they will get compensated.
What paper do you have there that we can see?
Okay, so right now I have the Nation newspaper, and the Nation newspaper has this: federal government targets 5 million jobs in 5 years for youth. Here it also says better edu scheme will be efficient. Ajaokuta Steel to employ 500,000. Shatima firm 98% ready. Well, that's coming from the vice president saying Ajaokuta Steel is 98% ready. That's good news.
Do you know how long we've had the Ajaokuta Steel?
It's actually been spanning over 30 years.
Decades.
As a matter of fact, several, dispensations have claimed to have pumped money, which wasn't seen, into Ajaokuta Steel. And we thought, as at, when the previous administration was there, that it was going to kick off. In fact, it started skeletally, but it hasn't started fully. So thankfully, this administration will be able to put finishing touches to what started.
Do you know what the main problem is why Ajaokuta Steel has never been in operation?
Bro, the story is long.
One particular issue is what runs it, what kind of fuel runs it. And this is fuel you can only get from the people who actually built it. Who built it? The Russians. The Russians built it so that you can always come back to them for that fuel.
Exactly.
And we don't have a relationship.
And that's what I was actually thinking to myself. Interestingly, I was having this conversation with my man over the weekend, and we're talking about Ajaokuta Steel and how we will probably have to keep postponing it considering the Russia-Ukraine war right now.
So
but
now
hey,
you get
let's
it.
see. Maybe there's something that's been done.
Perhaps maybe
Yeah,
they've changed
certain
resource.
things, yeah.
Moving on to the Daily Trust newspaper, big headline
Okay.
here: Israeli-Palestine conflict, how attacks on Al-Aqsa Mosque, others triggered crisis. Experts flay Israeli occupying power. A Palestinian envoy wants Israel forces to obey international laws. Israeli ambassador fingers Iran as U.S. offers warships and aircrafts. AU, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, others urge ceasefire as death toll hits 1,000. Photo story there showing the ruins from some of the instances from that issue. At the top, Bielsa Imokogi polls, spate of violence and security worrisome, says INEC, and Pengerson confirms return of fuel subsidy.
I knew you would want to talk about that one.
Of course this is something everybody's very interested in. Everybody's concerned here, from the man down there to the man up there. How does this make you feel? What do you think?
So when I heard the first subsidy had returned, that was about a month ago, I was like, no.
Oh, you heard since a month ago? Wow.
Yeah, it's actually been in the news. But it started as a rumor. And then I was like, no, until it's confirmed. It can't be now. Look how much we're paying for fuel. And so I'm wondering, if the government hasn't stepped in, you know, to actually subsidize, does it mean we'll be paying 1,000 naira per litre? It's worrisome. We went from 185 naira to 630 naira. And even at that, it's still being subsidized. Something needs to be done about the dollar and a lot of other things,
Absolutely.
I beg.
What you got next?
Okay, so next I have the Guardian newspaper. And the Guardian newspaper has this: war in Middle East may spiral, push monthly petrol subsidy to 644.8 billion naira. Well, goodbye to palliatives, that's then. Atiku Keyamo trade words over Tinubu's Chicago certificate. Wema Bank rewards winners of Hackaholics 4.2 with over 50 million naira. 107 ex-senators urge caution on Tinubu's certificate saga. Tinubu pledges 500,000 jobs as Ajaokuta still nears completion. Naira dip pushes loan book value of 8 banks to 30 trillion naira. Executes one project every quarter, Lagos speaker tells council chairman. And that's the one I actually find interesting because people have been saying they hardly feel the impact of local council. Why does it exist? We might as well just look up to the state government directly and all. So having this come from the speaker, I'm pretty positive that more projects will be carried out in the state.
Well, hopefully, let's bring those projects into Festac, because Festac is a shadow of what it was. There are absolutely no roads. It's like we're Neanderthals scaling through every day.
Neanderthals.
Coming to work, going home. It is a process.
It's sad.
Please help. Cut this out and put it on social media. Festac, please. FTT till I die. Alrighty, thank you very much. What's your name again? Mary? Don't do that. Let's move on now to the kitchen, shall we? Where Titi is standing by to let us know what we'll be having for breakfast.